Happy Thursday. It is Therapy Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all, I'm so happy. I'm very excited tonight on Transforming Trauma podcast with Dr. Triphi. Tonight, I have a special guest. I want to welcome you to tonight's sharing. Every Thursday, I show up here and I try my best to teach skills and strategies and offer tools to help us think better so we can feel better and we can do better. Tonight, I have the lovely Coach Evancia Barron on with me. She will sound a little bit like me. Why? Because we're from the same island originally. I'm from the island of Dominica, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. We love them, but they are further north. We are further south. We are between Guadeloupe and Martinique, and we speak English and a French Creole. Okay, so are you all ready? Please share the live. Please share the live. Please share the live, especially if you're listening from Dominica tonight. I live and work in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a licensed psychologist, and I'm also an advanced clinical hypnotherapist and a licensed professional counselor. So, y'all ready? Please share the live. Please share the live. Yeah, please share the live. I can't wait to add her. Here she comes.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be on your podcast.
I'm so happy that you're here tonight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for saying yes.
Yes. How could I not? Like, I always tell everyone, like, growing up in Dominica, going to St. John's School, you were my very favorite teacher. And I shared that with you when we met in Atlanta. When I realized that you lived in Atlanta and I also lived in Atlanta, I was so excited and we had to meet. And I've just been so excited and just, looking up to you and all the great things that you've been doing. So thank you so much for having me.
You are so very welcome. You've been one of my favorite students. You've got the personality of an angel. Y'all, those of you who know Evancia from Dominica, you know what I'm talking about. You've been a gift as a student. It's such a beautiful experience to see. I call all of you all my kids, right? To see my kids as adults living life and creating and doing these powerful things. I'm so inspired by you.
Thank you. I really appreciate this one. I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, tell us a little bit about you. They know me. Every Thursday they see me, and some other days they see me too. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am Coach Evancia, otherwise known as Evancia Barron. And as Dr. Triphi said, I'm also from Dominica. And I also, every time I speak to people and I meet new people, I always have to explain I am from Dominica, not the Dominican Republic, otherwise known as the Commonwealth of Dominica. I have to, there's a whole ring to it. I have to, say it in that way so they understand. And sometimes I may have to say, well, this is what Dominica is. I may have to pull up my map and my keychain. I have the Caribbean map on my keychain. So I have to show them this is where we are and this is where the Dominican Republic is. So now that we got that out of the way. So yeah, I lived in the north of Dominica. I grew up in Tatan or Tantan. There are so many ways of pronouncing it, but it's called Portsmouth. But I moved to the U.S. In the year 2000, to pursue dreams. Of course, we all have big dreams when we after college, after high school, and then college. I went to college also in Dominica, the community college, Seafood Call as we called it back then. Now it's called something else. I have to keep up.
Dominica State College, I think, is what they call it.
And after going to college in Dominica, I felt like, what, I wanted more in life. There was, I had so many ideas of what I wanted to do. And I felt like in order to do that, I had to go further. I had to leave the country. And so it was bittersweet, leaving home, the home that I love and venturing out into a new country. But my dreams and goals were bigger than the country where I was,
Mhm.
and so I had to venture out. And of course, I miss home, and I do visit home, but for the things that I wanted to accomplish, I had to leave. And so I now live in Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I live and work. But I am a life coach here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I primarily work with women who feel stuck in life or who
Mm.
had setbacks in life, who need guidance to uncover what their potential are, what they want to do in life, where they want to go. And if you have some goals and you show what you want to do with those goals, I help women create an action plan for those goals and hold their hands and guide them, what steps they need to take, hold them accountable because we all need accountability. Even myself, I
Yes.
also have a coach because I need accountability too.
Yes.
So I've come a long way, and hopefully, as we go through the evening, this session with on Dr. Trippi's podcast, I can share a little bit more about myself. So I hope you're open to also reaching out, and if you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out.
Absolutely. Ah, you said that so beautifully. Winsty is on here with us. Winsty is proudly demonstrating his flag. He wants to make sure that people know the right Dominica we're talking about.
Yes.
So, Coach Evancia, you started talking a little bit about it already. What does a coach do? What does a coach do? What is a coach?
Right. So that's a good question. Some people ask me that question too. A life coach, what is that? Well,
Hmm.
we know coaches. We have, coaches in sports, basketball, football, whatever sport. We have coaches.
Hmm.
And what the coaches do is they look at the players. They create a play, which is like an action plan. They create plays for their players, and they
Hmm.
show them what they need to do to win the game. So what I
Right.
do is I'm a life coach. So I help people create a plan for their life and
Hmm.
show them, guide them to win in life. Whatever their goals are, this is what I'm guiding them towards. So on the coaching side in sports, winning a game is the goal. In
Yeah.
life, getting to winning on your goals, creating an action plan, and actually getting to your goals is what our aim is as a life coach.
I love that. So, you're suggesting that as in sports, where you have phenomenal athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe, right?
Hmm.
Serena Williams, all of these top notch, top level people use a coach.
Exactly. Exactly. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Exactly. And so I would say the greatest coaches, even when you think about coaches who are, you think about like that the Les Brown, who is a great speaker, you think about
Yes,
like major coaches, they also have a coach because
absolutely.
in life you will get things done, but you need someone to hold you accountable. You need somebody to tell you know what, I think you're going a little bit too left. Like, come on back, center. You need somebody to really guide you and pay attention to what you're doing to hold you accountable. So it's not that you can't do it. You will
Yeah,
do it. It just takes you a little bit longer to get there. And it just a coach guides you to give you a more straight path to what your goals are. So that's
I
basically
like
it.
that. I like that. As you were saying that, what I saw in my mind was the understanding that I might be doing the best I can, but from my
Exactly.
perspective, I am not seeing what somebody outside of me can also see. And that's a beautiful
Exactly.
thing when I can have somebody outside of me holding me accountable based on what they're seeing that I'm doing or not doing.
Exactly. Because we can't really see ourselves from the outside, but somebody from the outside can see if we're using two left feet when we're dancing, for example. We're
Right,
dancing, we're going in the moment, and we don't pay attention to missing some steps or maybe turning the wrong way. Our coach
right.
does. So the coach is gonna guide you, in the right path. So that's why coaches are so important. If you want to get somewhere in life and you want to get there
Yes.
faster and you want to get there the right way, then you get somebody to guide you.
If you want to get there faster using great steps. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
get support because you'll succeed. What you're suggesting is individually you'll probably succeed, but sometimes we bang our head against the wall. We make so many unforced errors, like in sport,
Exactly.
many mistakes that we could have avoided because
Hmm.
maybe the coach. What else does the coach do? You say the coach holds the person's hand. They help
Right.
you clarify your goals. What else might a
Mhm.
coach do?
Avoid you getting injury, like in sport, like certain things they have to stay away. Not only and a coach, and when you think about sports, they also hold their coach, the players accountable, like
Yes.
extracurricular activities. They have guidelines for them.
Yes.
They say, well, you can't drink or you can't go out past a certain time if we have a game
That's
coming up,
right.
or
Yes.
what's your diet, make sure you eat certain food because that's going to help you with the play, or things like that. So in life there are so many aspects of it. When we think about success and what that looks like, there's you have to think about the mind, how the mind works, what you think about on a regular basis, what you feed yourself. Do you have an accountability partner? That's important. Not only having a coach, but the coach makes sure.
Woo! I mean, I'm feeling so inspired. Keep
I get
going.
excited when I start talking about things like that because, you know, for a long time, like I didn't know all of this. And then the moment I uncovered and I realized, oh my goodness, like this is amazing. Like, why didn't I know about this years and years ago when I was
Yes.
going through life and figuring it out, you know? I was figuring it out and I felt, oh, I'm so good. I'm a strong woman. I can do
Right.
it. But it took me a while to figure it out because
So,
I didn't have a coach.
okay, so here's another piece. This is my nugget. Y'all, when I do this tonight, there, look, for me, that was a nugget, okay? A piece of gold. A piece of gold. I'm getting free coaching tonight from my student. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What I just received was a reminder that sometimes we can believe falsely that we must work hard, that the harder we working, the more valuable we are. What I'm hearing
Mm,
you say is,
yep.
yo, work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
So, what inspired you as an individual to become a coach, to train, to learn, to become certified? What inspired you as a human being to do that
Well,
work?
wow, I love that question. Because when I think back, like before I moved to even Georgia, I was living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I was working. I'm in banking. My career, I built my career in banking.
Mm-hmm.
I was a manager
Mm-hmm.
of a major bank, and I was living a good life. So I
Yeah.
thought. And I was on my way, I got engaged, going to get married, and my fiance and I decided, what, we're going to move so that we have a better life for ourselves. And I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking at the time, I was just going along coasting in my life because I was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And in that being comfortable, you don't really look at red flags. You don't look at really what's going on around you. You don't pay attention to your surroundings. And
Mm-hmm.
so I found myself moving with my fiance at the time and trusting and not paying attention and getting my heart broken,
Mm,
without even, like, so unexpectedly. It was like night and day. One
yes.
day I thought I was in love and I was sitting into the sunset to start a new life. And the
Mm-hmm.
next thing I resigned from my job, and I moved because
Mm-hmm.
I had my future is with me and he's going to take care of things. And here I was in a new state and I had no job. No, I had no friends. I didn't know anyone because it was a whole new state.
Yeah.
And after the moment I actually broke up before I could even unpack my luggage. My everything was still packed, and I hadn't even unpacked yet. We drove together because he flew in the one-way flight to come get me because he got a job first. So he moved. He went to Georgia before I went there,
Mm-hmm.
and when he came to get me, we packed up stuff in my car. I shipped some things ahead of time, and on the drive is I started uncovering things. So so something happened where he had met someone there because he got there earlier. So he started an affair there, and so he was
Mm-hmm.
kind of trying to prep me of what's going on, and my life felt like it was over. I had already given up my apartment. I had an apartment in New York, and then I resigned from my job. I gave my resignation letter, and he helped
Mm,
me type it up too. And I felt, oh my gosh, where is my life? Where, I had great dreams and goals and all the wonderful things that I thought we were getting ready to build. We're going to start a family and all the exciting things. We're going to go home to Dominica. We're going to, all the
mhm,
wonderful. But um, I got the comfort zone, or how you say this, the safety net pulled
mm,
from under my feet because I was
mhm.
very comfortable,
Yes,
living my life, I was very comfortable. So
right.
when that happened, I felt like my life was over. I didn't even reach out to my family or my friends or anyone. I didn't tell anyone
Mhm,
for at least a good, I don't even know, maybe a week or so, because
mhm.
I was ashamed. And
Yes.
I felt like I had no one to reach out to ask for help. Maybe I did, but in the moment I didn't think about it.
Mhm,
But then what happened was, after I got myself together and then I went to church, I found myself a church home and I started building myself back up.
mhm.
Then I said, you know what? I have to do better. And so I started really focusing on myself and
Oh,
investing in myself, pouring
oh,
into myself.
oh.
And, you know, it became all about
Yes.
I love that bell. It makes me like, oh, I did something.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Ooh,
it.
ouch. So keep going. I'm on the ride. I'm listening. I am
Yeah.
plugged
So
in.
like it took a lot because when I was down, I was really down. I just saw
Yes.
darkness. I thought my life is over. The only thing though, I did not want to take my life. Never. I never once thought about taking my life. I know people go through
Mhm,
stuff and they think about that, but
mhm,
that was never a thought. I just thought my life in itself, like what I knew to be my comfort zone, that was done. There was nothing
mhm,
left because I had maxed out my credit cards because I had to live
mhm.
and I didn't have a job for
Right,
months.
right.
Maxed out my credit cards, I maxed out, I used up all my savings.
Mhm.
And then I had to even pull money for my retirement for my 401k. I mean, thank God I
Yes.
had it to even take from it to live.
Mhm.
And but once I was able to figure out, you know what? I need to live for me. I have to make this thing work. I have to pick myself back up and I gotta get back on track. And so I did all the things. It took me a little bit longer because I didn't have a coach at the time,
Mhm.
but I did all of those things. I realized that I have to love me and pour into myself and go up with myself, date myself, do things that I love doing and don't ask anybody else permission or ask anyone, what do you think? No, I mean, what you think is important, but okay, fine. I'm doing it anyway because that's what I want to do. And so growing up, I wasn't a very outgoing person. I was an introvert and I know that about
Yes,
myself. I was
yes.
an introvert. Very soft spoken and, I can express myself, but I wasn't the outgoing one. I wasn't the life of the party, as
Yes.
people would say. But I was able to really, after I went going through that, I really found myself. I really did. And I was so grateful for that experience. I mean, it happened to me and yes, it was sad. And in the moment, I thought things was over for me. But what
Yes.
I learned from that was so valuable and I am so grateful for it. Even my ex, I went to church one time and he happened to be in that church. And, he came over and he apologized for all the things. I said, you know what? Thank you for apologizing. I appreciate it. I've forgiven you a long time ago. It's okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, I was in a good place that I wasn't even bothered by it. And then I'm like, okay, we're okay. Don't worry about it, no matter what, So I'm not going to hold that because I'm grateful that that happened because I was
Oh,
able to see my true potential and what I was not doing with my life. I was coasting. You know, I was just coasting. And
you are
so all the
talking
things that I
about
wanted.
these beautiful things, Ivante. You're
Mhm.
talking about these beautiful things. You're really showing us from your story how to bounce back from a setback.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and every
goodness.
time I think about that, I'm like, wow, this is where I was,
Yes.
where I was crying so much that first week that my eyes were swollen to the
Wow.
point where I couldn't even see. Like
Wow.
I couldn't even open my eyes. They were so swollen. That's how much I was crying because I couldn't believe that I was in this situation and I was so in love, you know. And I had never been heartbroken that way. Like I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I had no heart left. There was just it was just a dark, dark place.
So
And
you had to rebuild
I
yourself.
had to rebuild myself from nothing, no
Yeah.
money, no place to stay, but I was able to bounce back. And when I bounced back, and when I figured out, you know what, I gotta do this thing and change my mindset and really find myself and work on being happy and truly being by myself and okay with being by myself, there was nothing stopping me. Like within a year, I accomplished so much. I got a job, making more money than I was making before in New York. I ended up moving out. I bought myself a condo.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God for that. And I was able to go to church and really find myself a church home and really get back into going to church and really giving myself to Christ and just really just starting over. Because I think before, yes, I believe in God and I know I'm a Christian, but I wasn't praying like I should have. I wasn't going to church and worshiping like I should have.
Mm-hmm.
And all the things, that makes a person whole. I feel like, I didn't know that back then. I was just
Mm-hmm.
living and, but
Yes.
after the breakup and I really found myself and I started really living, I'm like, oh my goodness, why haven't I been doing this all this time? Like, I am so much happier. I was doing things, I was living, going places, I was traveling the world. I'm traveling, I'm exploring. I'm just was so grateful for where I was. I was grateful for that and what I went through. Because when I came out of that, like, I'm like, okay, everyone needs to do this. Like, all the women I know, if anybody's going through what I went through, or even just a little bit of what I went through, I need them to know that there is better ahead. Like, you can do so much more. So it's just a little speed bump, as I call it. It's a speed bump. It may be a major thing in your life,
Yes.
but it's a speed bump. Don't worry about it. Well, I can say that now. I'm
Yes.
not really minimizing what anyone is going through because people go through some traumatic events and
Mm-hmm.
situations, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to get out of that. But once you figure it out and once you find a way, you get the help first and you get out of that, you can accomplish so much. You can do so much, and you will see that your life is there's just so much better out there for you.
Okay. So I heard some recovery factors
Mm-hmm.
when somebody's considering rebuilding their life after a setback. I heard spiritual grounding, find spiritual support, whatever that means for you.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard you say you became grateful for the lesson. So you looked at the pain, you looked at the situation and the circumstances, and although it felt so horribly painful, you
Mm-hmm.
decided to look for a reason that this thing could be a positive for you. And so you could say, well, hey, this hurt me so badly, but thank you for allowing me to see that I was strong enough to rebuild my life. You turned it around. You changed potential really negative words in your mind to positive new decisions. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds to me like, and I've worked with people for a long time, and I'm a human being myself, so I know the amount of emotional energy and focus and intention that takes. So I got to
Mm-hmm.
give you kudos. And I want you now to tell the women that you say your target audience is women.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with us how you've been able to transfer your knowledge to helping other people? How have you done that?
Well, I actually have a coaching program that I walk women through. So the first thing I do is
Y'all, she took action. Yes, she created something. Y'all, she did it now. Yes, go ahead, Evans. Coach Evans. Go ahead.
yeah, so I did put everything together, like the steps I took, and
Yes.
I did invest in a coach to make sure to guide me as well to get there, to make sure I got the proper steps. And Yes. Yes, I invested in a coach, and now I have a platform. I have a coaching program that I basically, it's a 90-day coaching program. I believe that 90 days for me, when I was going through that situation, within 90 days, I was able to really get close to getting to the goal that I wanted to do, which is, get myself the job that I wanted, get a job, get a place to stay, build myself up, my finances, and really just build myself up the way I wanted to. And so for me, I think 90 days, I identified that 90 days is perfect to
Mhm.
guide someone, get them create an action plan, identify first what they want to do, what is the things that they're aspired to be or achieve, or whatever goals that they have. We first identify what those goals are, and then we create a plan. I call it a life action plan. We create a plan, what steps you need to take to get from point A to 90 days from now, where you're going to be. So we create an action plan within my coaching program, and I guide women there from all the steps.
So it sounds to me as if you meet women where they are, mm,
Yes.
and together you figure out a plan. I like to use this four letters. What do you want? What are you doing about it? Or what have you been doing about it? Evaluate it. How has it been working for you? And let's create a plan. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how about people, lots of women especially, will say, I don't know what my purpose is. I just
Hmm.
don't know. I want to do things, but I don't know. I don't even know what my purpose is. Do you support women in that position, and how might you support somebody in that position?
Yeah, I do, and there are so many people in that position. I've been there too. Even if I thought I knew what I wanted to do and the direction I wanted to go, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do things just because you know what, it seems easy, you're good at it, and you don't have to put much effort to get it done. So you think, oh, you know what, that's my purpose because I'm good at it, but then you're not truly happy with what you're doing. So there is a series of like there is an activity that we do, and I ask a series of questions, and we identify, we have, it's some work, it's not easy to just say, you know what, okay, I'm going to do this, and then we do it. You have to be willing to do the work. You have
Mm-hmm.
to get some pen and paper, and we're going to write down some things that you enjoy doing, some things that you don't enjoy doing so much, something that you've considered. So we kind of do a process of elimination, kind of identify some things that you want to do. And so
Mm-hmm.
after we go through that process, then we identify what your real true goal is. You got people not sure. They think, you know what, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm passionate about something, but I'm not sure if that's my purpose. And so, we have to talk through what that looks like. So we have a series of questions that we go through to identify what that looks like for each person. Everyone is different. So no one person has the same result, but
Right.
we have to do that exercise to uncover what your true purpose is. And there is some homework and exercises that you will do to uncover what that is for you.
So it sounds to me like you do an assessment. You take a snapshot of where people are today.
Mhm.
Mm. Yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes.
And they do the work. I don't do the work for them, because really it is your life. So
Yeah.
I'm the coach. I'm guiding you, and
Mm-hmm.
but I can't tell you what to choose or what to do. You have to make that decision for yourself, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when I hold your hands and I get to you to your destination, you have to continue on your path.
That's right.
So
That's
you have to be comfortable with what you choose. You have to feel that this is a right decision for you, the right path, the right passion for you. And so
mhm.
you have to choose that for yourself.
I love this so much. Okay. So, Coach Evancia, I just saw your auntie on the live somewhere. Let me put her thingy right. Where is her?
Oh, which auntie? Oh,
Name is
Auntie Julian.
Auntie
Mommy's, yeah.
Julie.
I call her
Yes.
Auntie Julian. His mommy's.
There. She
Thank
says
you
we
for having
can't
me, Auntie. Mhm.
we can't look at anybody else for happiness. We need to know who we are. You're right. We must figure these things out for
Exactly.
ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Exactly.
find that again your target audience, meaning the people your heart feels called to serve, are mostly women?
Mm-hmm.
What obstacles do you think women more so face as they're trying to make these decisions?
Mm-hmm. And I've coached men too. It's just that I identify with women, and what I
Yes.
went through, I can guide women based on my experience,
Yes.
what I know to be true and what I know
Hmm.
works. And so
Hmm.
men have a different dynamic, and so they have other aspects of their life that I may not identify with. So that's why I don't
Hmm.
really focus on the men. But
Hmm.
I have worked with men. Um,
Yeah.
but for women, wait, answer the question again. I think I started thinking about.
So, what unique areas you think women seem to have more difficulty with, like they struggle more
Yes.
with when it comes to identifying their goals, even?
Yeah, I think really is the mindset. What we think
Mm,
about ourselves. That we think that we can't do certain things. We talk negatively to ourselves. Well, I can't do this. Oh well, this person is, this person has more money. They can accomplish those things. This person
mhm,
comes from this family. They know better. I don't really have the resources. I don't know.
mhm.
Like it's really the negative self talk really that holds us back, and the procrastination.
The negative self talk, because I am the captain of my ship. I decide
Right.
where this boat is headed. So, if what I am just focusing on are these negative thoughts that are going to come, because that's just what they do.
Right. Exactly.
Until
That is
we get in there and actively do the work, like you're saying, we're going to get trapped and stuck in the hole.
we are. And if I didn't change my thinking, I would be stuck where I was when I first moved to Georgia.
Oh, I want you to reverse even a little further, because earlier you said, I used to be an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us feel shy. Many people who knew you growing up might have said, you're shy, you're
Mm-hmm.
quiet. What did you do? Look, tonight, right here, I keep bringing this because I'm getting chills, I'm getting just activated, right? Energetically, with a beautiful energy that's coming through you, right? Through
Mm-hmm.
your words. So, what would you say to somebody who's feeling so overwhelmed by their fear, by their what they've been told, or the way they've lived, in a way that maybe they presented to the world as shy or very introverted or very quiet? What did you do that maybe you could steer somebody towards doing? Because you're on fire,
Mm. I would
right,
say,
y'all?
I would just say, don't think about yourself as shy. Just think about yourself as who you are. If you are shy, don't think about the word shy. You are who you are. Just embrace who you are, and don't try to be anybody else.
Yes,
Just do the things that you continue to do the way you do it. Don't
yes,
change. Don't be outspoken and speak up about things that you don't really care about speaking up just because you want to be heard. Just be
yes,
yourself, and just find the group of people that you connect with, so that you can have more conversations with, that you can have a voice with, because sometimes we're in settings when we don't really belong, not don't
yes,
belong, but they're not our tribe of people. Let's say you among some people who are party goers and outgoing and loud. That is not for you if you're not that person. If you are shy and you're an introvert and you're kind of soft spoken, and that's not you're not gonna be, you're not gonna stand out, you're not gonna be loud, you're not gonna, and if you try to be that, then you won't be yourself. So be authentic, be yourself, and you can, identify with people who you can connect with and have a conversation with, and speak to on certain levels. Because I mean, I've been in rooms where even if I don't feel, I may not identify with what they're talking about, what
hmm,
conversations they're having. I may just listen, you know, and if I feel like, what, that's not my crowd, I will leave and
yeah,
go somewhere else, or somewhere that I'm more comfortable being myself and speaking, in the way that I'm comfortable speaking. So it really
hmm,
depends on your environment. What does your environment look like? Are you in the right environment? Is that environment
hmm,
for you? So I would say sometimes the environment that we're in really keep us back. So we have to
yeah,
really venture out and find, you know, go somewhere else and spread your roots. So where we are sometimes just holds us back. So I would say to the person who is shy, I was that way too. But when I went out there and I met some amazing people and who were genuine, and I was able to be myself. And that being myself doesn't mean I was shy. I was able to be outspoken and speak my mind, not being afraid of saying what I want to say, what I mean, and how it's being received as well. If you're in the wrong setting, how what you say is received will really make you stop what you're doing and not even attempt to be as outspoken. So I mean, I go and say it. I'm still shy sometimes. I don't speak up on everything, but if I have a point to make, you're gonna hear it.
I think this is so valuable, Coach Evancia. This is so valuable because what I just heard you say is we do not have to remain in a victim position.
Mm-hmm.
So if where I am, what I want, right, or how I'm presenting is not working with the group I'm around, maybe I need to find a different tribe. Maybe I need
Mm-hmm.
to put myself in another environment where I can do what I'm doing with ease. I can be myself. Yeah.
Right.
But the feedback I'm getting is way different than what I was getting in that other environment.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to take ownership, do the work, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and change what is around us, change what we surround ourselves with.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I always share with people when I moved to Georgia, like when I was really building myself and I didn't really know anyone, I didn't know I have a Caribbean community.
Hmm.
I joined groups and I joined meetup groups. I would do things with people from the Caribbean. Like I felt like, you know what, I needed to feel I call it my people,
Yes,
I wanted to
yes,
feel like I'm home, a little bit of home. So I
yes.
joined the Caribbean Connection group. And I even at one point, when one of the leaders was stepping down because it became a lot, I became the leader. I've created a group. So you create the environment that you want. You create that. If you can't find it, create
You created.
so you just have to don't stay where you are. Find a way, find your environment, find your comfort zone, so you can create that for yourself.
Oh, I love this. If people don't invite you to their table, if people have all these rules and regulations for you at their table, create your own table.
There
Build
you
your
go.
own table. Even if
Mhm.
your little table is a rickety three-legged table, it is
Exactly.
your table.
That's how I felt. And so it was really good for me to be, when I say change your environment, like
Mhm.
going and finding that group and going out with people, I made new friends. I
Yes,
was invited to other events and we went to shows together. Like major artists would come as a group, we would go together because then remember, I had no friends. I didn't know
right.
anyone in a whole new state. So I found my group of people that I can identify with and I can have a conversation with, because sometimes when we're talking about home and growing up and the food that we eat, our culture,
Mm.
that just brings excitement. We excited, we feel connected. And
Yes,
so that was able to bring out something in me as well. And so I can relive my in my small my small tribe, as I call it, and
yes.
so that made me feel at home too. So while you're building yourself, you need to identify your tribe of people, your community of people to really build you and ground you too. So,
So look at that. So essentially, you changed your karma. You changed who you could have been. See, you after that breakup experience, you could be in the psychiatric unit. You could be
mhm,
your trajectory could have been, I'm super depressed.
mhm,
I can't find my way. I'm not I'm not succeeding in life because the pain, I stayed in the state of pain.
mhm,
I stayed in the state of pain. It does take intention and work and effort. It takes intervention. We have to intervene when those curveballs come at us, when those setbacks come at us. Hmm?
mhm. We do. Funny fun fact. Funny. I don't know the fun fact, but when I was getting out of my dark situation, that point in my life, I actually went to a therapist. And I said, you know
Yeah,
what? I knew this was a good stepping stone. That's a good start. And I
yeah.
went to my first session. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, this is so horrible." Like, she gave me a prescription
Mm, right away. The first
right
day.
away. The first day, I was like, "Oh my
Mhm,
gosh, this is bad. Like, this is
mhm,
really bad. No, I
mhm,
cannot. This is not
mhm.
happening to me." That
Yes,
that's I think that was maybe week two. It was soon after I was going
yeah,
through because I was trying to find my way out of that, trying to crawl out of my hole.
yes,
And
yes,
when she told me that you need prescription because no one should deal with this on their own, I
yes.
was like, This is not what I need. I am not that kind of person. I mean, I maybe I am. I know because I was sharing
Mhm.
out, because she's the therapist. That's what you do. You
Mhm.
share, and you have
Mhm.
to dump everything that you have
Yes.
going through, which is how they help you. I mean, she was
Yes.
doing it, but for me, I'm like,
Yes.
mm-mm, this is
I
not
think what I
what I
hear
need.
from that, what I heard from that is the state you were in, the level of pain you presented
Mhm.
with. Yeah. In her professional opinion, she was saying at that stage, this is a lot.
Mhm.
And that
Yes.
was a clue to you that
Yeah.
hey, okay,
That, like, I'm saying, I need to step it up a little bit more, because this is not gonna be me. I'm not gonna
yes,
be on some meds, and even if some people need it, and I'm not
yes,
discrediting that what
yes.
the therapists do, but I'm talking about my experience. This is my
I hear
experience.
you.
I'm talking
I hear
about
you.
me, and
Yes.
how I felt about myself, because I
Mm,
knew, even if I was in that situation,
yes.
I knew I was getting out of that. I was starting to make my moves to get out of that. But
Mm-hmm.
just hearing someone tell me that, it made
Yeah.
me know, what, this is serious. So you need to put a step on it. You need to go the extra mile, and make
Yeah.
sure you get out of that. And so that, from there, I'm like, nope. I started go. I went to church. I went to a few churches in the neighborhood. I started trying to find my church home, because I know, I'm like, I need to get more connected. This is not gonna be my story. I'm gonna
Yes.
change that story. This is not going to direction. I'm changing the direction. So
This is not
yeah,
how this story ends. This
this is
story
not
does
how
not
it
end.
ends. No.
I
I
didn't leave
got that
Dominica for this.
situation. It's like, I said, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate it. I never went back. I mean, and anyone listening, if you need the help, please go back. Please go to your session. But I'm talking about my experience and how
Do you think growing up in Dominica had some impact on that choice or that decision? And if so, how?
possibly, because growing up in Dominica, you don't know about therapists. Like, I didn't know about having a therapist in Dominica. I didn't know you could talk to someone about what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're going through. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that existed until
Mm-hmm.
I left. I think I was very naive growing up in Dominica. We go to school, we have friends, we our family. We spend a lot of time with our family. We have big families, and our family is like our therapist. If something happened, you tell your family. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know about what the therapist really does. And to me, it was really thought of at the time growing up in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
If you say somebody is, the only thing I knew in that aspect was really what do you call that, home where people go when people lose their minds, or they
Yep.
that's
To,
only
to
thing I
the
knew.
psychiatric unit. Yeah.
Psychiatric unit, right? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe in my mind at the time, maybe that's where my mind was going. But I'm like, nope, this
Yes.
is not gonna be me. I'm not gonna
Yes.
be a medication. I'm
Yes.
not crazy. I'm
Yes.
going through something right now, which is a traumatic experience for me, but I'm going to find a way out of that on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was just really also extra ammunition for me to really push
Yes.
through and find a
Yes.
way, a way forward. So, you know,
Yes. I
once again,
appreciate you sharing
yeah,
that.
it was
I
good that it happened.
appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that many people get the wrong impression.
Hmm.
Say, when you present as a successful person, they forget the piece that you're a human being and that
Right.
you suffer too and that you
Mhm.
experience pain too. And I'm very grateful for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't mind sharing, because when we share, I always tell people, when you share, you may be helping somebody else who's going through it or has gone through it and doesn't know that they can get out of it. You know,
Yes.
like years ago, before I had gone through that, I would not have shared. Like, you saw when I went through that, I didn't even call my family or my friends
Yes.
until it was, like later on. And I shared
Hmm.
what was going on. Everyone was like, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you call me? You could have come. We could have come get you. You could have done all of these things." But I had to figure it out. I had some steps I needed to take for myself and really,
Hmm.
figure things out. So, but I had to go through that. I needed to go through that to be where I am today. So people need to share these things. I'm not saying go and tell everyone, "Oh, this is what happened to me," every single detail, but
Yes.
but if you go through a difficult situation or you go through a major setback, and you got out of that, and you saw what would have happened if you hadn't gotten out of that, who wouldn't want to share that? That's how I
Absolutely.
feel. I want somebody else to
Absolutely.
know I've been there and I got out of it, and you can too. There are some steps you can take, and you can get yourself out of that situation. There is more ahead. There is so much more ahead. What you've been through, you just it's just a stepping stone. You can learn from that, because I learned from everything that I've been through. So I take the good parts and I move forward with it. You learn. I read somewhere that in life, you learn more from the setbacks than the successes. I was
Absolutely.
like, wow, that is so true.
Absolutely. That's
So
been
true.
true for me. That's
Yeah.
been true for me. Look, you just my next question was going to be, well, how would you as a coach deter someone from engaging in, really, we call them in psychology, maladaptive behaviors. Like, so when the pain hits, when the setback hits and the pain is so intense, many of us, we go drinking, we have we go out there, we meet whomever we meet, and just, you just random physical connections with
Mhm.
people. We can't get out of the bed, which is, I understand that's part of a depressive episode for many people. But what would you say to someone to pull them back from that? Or if you're talking to a woman who that's where she is today, what would you say?
I would say, first of all, I understand what you're going through, because we have to empathize with people. Everyone has their pain and how they handle it. So we don't
Hmm.
want to make a person feel less than, or what they're doing is so wrong, but really
Exactly.
identify, okay, well, let's see what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And if
Hmm.
you're not in the right place yet for me to guide you, I'm going to guide you to the person who can help, because there is someone out there who can help everyone. There is some support, whether it's a support group, or if you don't want to go in a group setting, you can have
Yes.
one-on-one therapy sessions, psychologists. So you can go to a Dr. Triphi, sorry, you can go to, like, you get the help. I make sure I guide them to get the help they need before
Yeah.
I can guide them forward. I always tell people, like, when someone is going through something and they're not healed,
Yes.
they're still stuck in the past. So they need to deal with the past first, whether it's a counselor, a licensed counselor, deal with the past first, so that
Hmm.
they can really understand where they are presently, and then they can work with me as a coach. If
To
they're not
build.
to build, if they're not there yet, if
Yeah.
they're not if they haven't dealt with the past, then they cannot move forward. The past
Yeah.
is going to hold them back.
It's so heavy. It's so heavy because
It is.
these emotions are so painful. They're so heavy. They feel like bricks on your
Mm-hmm.
body, and your mind, and your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. How can I've had the people are texting me behind the scenes in my messenger. They want to know where to connect with Coach Evancia. So where can people find you? How can they connect with you?
Well, you can follow me on social media platforms. At Coach Evancia on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Clubhouse. Um, Join me on Clubhouse as well. On there every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Me and my accountability partners, I have two. We came together and we decided to speak on topics affecting women. So every
Yeah.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're talking about different topics. So next Wednesday, we're actually talking about love and
Oh,
relationships, self-love, different topics affecting women. So you can follow me on Clubhouse and all the social media platforms, and send me a private message if you like. You can also go to bouncebackfreegift.com. You can sign up for a free gift, and then you will subscribe to me, and then I can get your information, and I can reach out to you. And when you receive that free gift, within that email, there is a calendar invite. You can request a one-on-one 30-minute free session with me. We can strategize on if I'm a good, if you're a good fit, if you want me to work with you. I'll ask you a few questions. And so you can reach out to me that way, and we can figure out what's the next step for you.
I love that. Shanika, you like that? Okay, so Shanika says, "Hi, Coach Evancia. I tried reaching out to you, but I was not successful. You just haven't been successful yet. Okay, so um, and if you don't reach out, she's gonna look for you.
I
Okay,
sure will. I sure will.
all right." Kimmy says that you're talking to me after my divorce. I almost lost my mind. The pain of these life events is so intense. You lose your spouse, you lose a child, You're recovering from sexual trauma, childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, a breakup of a relationship, all of that. You lose a house, you get suddenly diagnosed with an illness, and or somebody in your family does, and it just overwhelms you. It really just overwhelms you sometimes. So I'm so happy that you are here offering yourself, offering yourself. Um, Something I wanted to talk about a little bit is I saw you doing your lives. I'm, I want you to talk to those women who are ready to elevate. And they have their strategy, they have their plan, but it's like all of the emotions that come with being a human being and having to do something new
Mm-hmm.
come, and that might be their roadblock. That might be their setback. What can you offer them?
I always say to everyone who's thinking that way, do it scared. That's my motto. Like, if you want to do something and you're not sure, you're afraid, you're procrastinating, you have self-doubt, just do it anyway. Just do it. And if you, like me, if you have Dr. Triphi's book, do it now, you can get some guidance in there too. So you just have to just go ahead and do it. Create a plan, find someone to help you get there, whether you get a coach. If it's me, wonderful. If not, that's okay. There are so many other coaches out there based on
Absolutely.
what you're trying to accomplish. Now, I'm a life coach and I help people in life in general, but what I specialize in is really bouncing back or jump starting the life you want for yourself. So there may be an area in your life that you want to coach in. Maybe it could be your health. You want a health coach. Maybe you want
Yes.
a fitness coach. Maybe you want um what you call a mindset coach. So there are so many different coaches. I am a life coach, so I guide people with their life. And so if you have something that you want to do, just do it. Find the person to help you, to guide you there, and just get it done. Don't think, just do it now. Just start now. There's always, there's not enough time in a day. And the more we procrastinate and the more we hold back, the longer it takes us to get there. You don't want to wait until years from now and say, oh my gosh, what if I had done this 10 years ago? Where would I have been now? Like,
Yeah.
what if? No what ifs. Just do it. Just get it done. I mean, even if you don't get it done, but sometimes the little things that you do, the small steps, is what you need. Sometimes it's not the big goal. We have a ladder. We don't try to go from the first foot to the last foot. We have to take small steps. You take one foot on top of the other, and you just make small steps to get to where you want to go.
That is how success is created.
Mhm.
And I'm happy you mentioned the book because I give a 7-step plan, y'all, addressing the process I personally used to, I say, go from a single divorced mother of 2 little kids to building 2 businesses. I did my PhD with those 2 little kids while I was
Mhm.
working full time.
Wow.
But you have to use systems and strategies and tools to make those things happen so
Mhm.
that you can create the life you want, not
Mhm.
what other people are telling you. Because sometimes when you're in the hole like that, you have your dream, but other people, sometimes in their efforts to help you, they're trying to guide you here, there, and everywhere. And you're like, okay, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess. But hold on to your dream, but learn what to do
Mhm.
and how to do it. Everybody you see succeeding and creating what they want, they are following certain strategies.
Mhm.
And that's what a coach offers. That's what a therapist offers. That's what there are people like us who spend our lives learning these techniques, theories, strategies on how to do these things. You don't have to figure it out alone,
Mhm.
but you got to start where you are with whatever you have. You've got to start. And that start
Exactly.
might be calling Coach Evancia. Okay? Mm. That start is using your fingertips that you love to click nasty emojis when you're frustrated with people on Facebook. And scroll past the post that is irritating you. Instead, take those beautiful, lovely fingers and go to Facebook Messenger and send Coach Evancia a message. Okay? We create the life we want.
Yes.
The most powerful thing I've heard from you tonight is the understanding. When you were talking about, yeah, I'm introverted, I might be introverted over here, but over there, I'm the extrovert. So
Mm-hmm.
it's up to me, right? It's up
True.
to me to stop accepting what is in front of me as if that is my destiny and actively engage in making choices to change my outcomes. Y'all, it is us. It is us.
Mm-hmm.
It is me. It is you. I don't care what's happening around you right now. There is something in your power to do now where you can start climbing that ladder rung by rung by rung by rung.
Mm-hmm. Small steps, one step at a
Small.
time.
That's how success is created. If you
Mhm.
try to eat a mango with one gob, it will stick either in your mouth or in your throat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what happen? You have to, if you're using a knife, you have to peel the skin first. And
Mhm.
you cannot put the whole mango in your mouth. You have to
Nope.
cut a little piece, a little piece, a little piece, a little piece. If you're biting it, one bite, one bite, one bite, one bite, one bite.
Mhm.
That's how we create success.
Right. I love that.
Y'all, I feel so proud. That's my student. That's my girl right here.
I'm
I
so
feel
honored
so
to be
proud.
here.
I feel so proud. Okay, Coach Evancia, any freebies, any nuggets you can offer the people listening, and those who will, after everybody tonight shares the live, mm, and tags at least one woman who's your friend, because friends share good things, right? Yeah. So what is one nugget you can offer all the women or all the people, because you also serve men, who will come upon this live video and want your support?
Yeah, what I can say is whatever it is that you need guidance with, first, well, before you even know what it is, first identify what that is first. Figure it out before you start working on it, because you may be working on the wrong thing. But I would say go back and figure out what it is that you want in life. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What have you always wanted to do? What is that thing? And once you identify that, then you reach out and help somebody guide you along the way, wherever that is. Maybe you have a mentor, someone you look up to, someone who's a role model to you, somebody even in your circle that you see doing what you want to do. Reach out to that person, ask. Just don't feel like you can't. You never know. For me, like, I've asked people, I've been, what, this person's not going to say anything to me, they're not going to share this information. I reached out anyway. What is the worst they could say? No. And okay, on to the next. So reach out to people that you admire, people that you think will have that add value to your life. Just reach out to that person, and once you figure out what it is that you want, don't stay there. Just use that and move forward. There is so much out there to live for. There's so much out there to do. And, even for me, when I look at myself, I'm just getting started, and I'm so happy that I did, because the world is out there, and I'm going out there. So, stay tuned. Please follow me. I have some great things in the works. I'll be speaking on other major platforms. I actually have a book in the works. I'm writing a book on how to bounce back after a setback. So the world is out there. Don't stay where you are. Just find what it is. Just go out there and do it. Start now, make small steps, and just do it. Just start where you are.
You also said to do it afraid.
Do it afraid. Just do it scared. Just do it anyway. Like, when I
Mhm.
first started coaching, I was like, well, I really want to help women, who going through something major, or women who are feeling that they have a setback in life, who want to pursue their dreams and their goals. And I decided, you know what, my academy is going to call the Pursuit to Greatness Academy. And that's what my academy is called, the Pursuit to Greatness Academy. Because when I think about myself, I was pursuing greatness and I didn't know how to get there. And so when I went through my situation and I was able to really come on top, I'm like, no, I'm running with this. This is my academy for women, well, mainly for
Yeah.
women to pursue their greatness. So I would say do it scared, start where you are. Even if you're scared, just do it, because when you don't do the things you need to do, you making yourself unavailable to help somebody who needs help. So there's somebody out there who needs your guidance and your help, and you're holding back. So just do it anyway, because somebody is going to benefit from that.
Especially you. Especially you. Especially you. So, Marcia, Clive and Marcia say, and you're not only pushed through, you are thriving. Yeah, you're thriving. And sometimes, again, literally, life comes at us so hard. That setback that you talk about, it'll throw you on the floor. Why? Because you're alive. You didn't do anything bad. You're not a mean person. You're not a wicked person. You're not paying for any sins. This is just the nature of life.
That's life.
That's just life. But I am so inspired by your instruction to find some things you can even feel grateful for about that nasty experience and rebuild.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to just share a few more thoughts. Some people, I don't know if you caught all of the comments, but I know it's 8:02, but we don't care. I'm
That's
so
okay.
excited tonight. Look, somebody's saying, I can so relate. I wish more women would find that balance. I'm excited for you. Keep up the amazing work. What would you say to that?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for posting that.
Yes. I think uh, this person says, I wish more women could find the balance. I say, let's create the balance.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do it.
Exactly. We have to create the balance, and we have to speak up, and we have to ask for help when we need it. If you need help, raise your hands. Ask somebody who can give you that help that you need. Don't stay where you are. When I think about our very first clubhouse talk,
Mhm.
our topic was your brokenness was a blessing. And everyone talk about something that they've been through. Even the other speakers, people who were in the audience, spoke about something that they've been through, that they were hurt,
Yes.
was a blessing to them. So
Yeah.
that brokenness, and take the good out of that, and you will see how it's a blessing. Just I always say, you know what? Everything bad things happen, there's a good thing that comes out of that. Take the
Yes.
good and then move forward.
And we have a job to do.
Mhm.
We must give ourselves the job. There's a tool that I use that I learned from a teacher called Dr. Pat Allen, and it's called a high buy letter. And almost any situation in life, if it hurts you really bad and you're finding trouble releasing it or letting it go, review it, right? You look at the joys of that experience, write it down, write it down. Hmm?
Mhm.
Then you look at the pain of the experience, write it down. Then, based on that experience, what do you want as you move forward in life? Because that kind of exercise is going to force you to figure it out, to
Mhm.
actually identify it, pull it out from the mess, even though you're still in the mess and you're in pain. And then, what do you never want again? What do you not want based on this? I will never do this again, right? I will
Mhm.
never I will be married before I leave a city. Hmm?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, I
Right.
will be married. You better put a ring that is securely on that finger so that if you decide you're going to go, I'm getting 50% of what you have.
Exactly. The right ring, because I had an engagement ring,
The right ring.
some diamonds
Exactly.
on it. But
Isn't that something? Isn't that something, right? Because the advice you get as a woman is Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, don't move except if you're at least engaged. You were
Right.
doing what you would have thought was the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, well, that just means I need to up my game. Thank you for
Right.
that. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you very much. And then look at them on the side eye, right? And then and then finally, finally, you want to identify the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I do not care what the traumatic event is. I do not care what it is. Use that template. Use that template, okay, to help you process. So that's the word we use, but it really means just, you pull it apart and you organize it. You help your mind to organize it so it's not controlling you as you keep moving forward in life. You look for the lesson. And I just loved it when you said, I was actually so grateful. I had even forgiven him by the time we saw each other again.
Yeah,
Like, thank you, bruh.
I did. He was like, wow. But that's growth. Mm-hmm.
Exact post traumatic growth is what it's
Mm-hmm.
called. Yeah, so we can have post traumatic stress disorder where we're just flashing back to the pain of that situation. Some of us have nightmares, some of us become just hyper vigilant about it. But when you process it, when you make sense out of it, which is work, which takes energy, then you can come to identify the lesson and use it as a growth
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. I was telling somebody, the people who are Christians, and close your ears, but I was telling somebody that many years ago, I learned in a training, we were just laughing, therapists, and somebody said, these kinds of experiences are called AFGOs, another growth opportunity. Y'all can fill in the blank. So, life hurts. Life hurts.
Yeah, it can.
With
Yeah.
many S's sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It can hurt. Okay.
It can.
Yvonne says, I am loving this session. We need more like that. Thank you. We will think about it. Okay, Yvonne. Ramona was saying earlier, just to say there's nothing wrong with taking meds, and you said that there's nothing wrong. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that it's like just a flashing, like, oh my goodness. You
Mm-hmm.
mean this is
This is
how,
serious. Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is serious.
It
And
is.
if I don't want to take medication, I've got to double up on what it is I'm doing to pull myself up and out of that situation. So you had to find other supports, is what you did.
Right. And that was my situation, my story. But for some people, if you are being prescribed something and you're not
Mhm.
sure, I would say go back and maybe get another session and express how you feel so they can find another resource for you, because don't just stop there like I did. I, luckily was able to figure it out and find my
Mhm.
way. And I thought I was strong enough and I knew better to really
Mhm.
get myself out of that situation. But not everyone is the same. So if
Right.
you have a serious traumatic situation going through, don't
Mhm.
just not take it. Talk to your therapist first about what it is that you're feeling and why you don't want to take what you're being prescribed, if that's the situation.
Yes. And you also mentioned two things you're saying here. One is return, have a follow-up session,
Mm-hmm.
express yourself to your therapist, because many times we have ideas, say, about medication that are from the way we were raised. You described the fact that growing up in Dominica, the picture we had when we thought about people who did take medication were people who were so seriously mentally ill that they had to be hospitalized for months and months and months and months. And when they were in the community, they were so dysregulated they couldn't present themselves. And so that's a scary thought. That's a scary
Mm-hmm.
visual
Oh,
that's imprinted on your brain. Yeah,
right.
yeah. But if you do need that support, talk about your fears and your anxieties about that with the professional so that you all can work it out. And if
Mhm.
your brain really needs it, you can keep taking it. You can keep
Right.
taking it. Yes, yes, yes. Um, I love that. I think the second thing I wanted to highlight, I just did, which is for people like us who grew up on a small island where our therapy is our family and our therapy is going to confession on Sunday or talking to the pastor or talking to a godmother, yeah, or going to the beach. That's our therapy. What does it used to be? Or therapy. There's a lot we must keep doing now to uh, help people see that there's so many resources in that arena that are untapped and that could pull a lot of us out of the pain that we live with every day. And so we must begin to do that.
Yes,
We must begin to do that.
we must.
Ramona says having a tribe around you is so important. Can you talk about that again for somebody who maybe missed it?
Yes, I say your tribe is your surrounding, the people that you're around, your community that you created. And if you don't have that, if you were like me and you moved somewhere, you don't have family and friends, create your own tribe. Find, the people, join groups, support groups, or go to meetup groups, go to events with like-minded people that you can identify with, and you can
Mhm.
talk to different people. And once you find this connection, create that connection for yourself. Create your own tribe that you can really feel comfortable. You can be yourself. You can be your authentic self with. So we need that. We need a support. We can't do everything on our own. We need support.
Yes. Oh, before we talk about this, Ramona says that many of us, though, unfortunately, um, it's a double whammy. As women, you're taught to be caregiving of other people, and to although you're the quote unquote feminine and softer, many people will tell you, you're also taught weirdly to be strong
Mm-hmm.
and to deal with it. It's also a response based on traumatic history, where if I learned as a child, if I learned as a child that when I ask for help, nobody's there for me. As an adult, by that time, I've already learned to not ask anybody for help.
Mm-hmm.
And that if I'm asking for help or if I'm even crying with in response to my sadness, that somehow I'm weak.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I would say even for me when I was going through that, I had help. Like if I reach out to my family, they would be there in a second. But
Hmm.
it's something I had to go through for myself. So
Hmm.
after you've gone through things for yourself, and you say, you know what, I need to take a moment with myself to really reflect. But
Hmm.
once you do that reflection and you know what you need to do, don't stay there. You need to, put your whatever your thought process is, forget about that shame or forget about whatever it is that you're thinking. You need the help. Whether you whatever whoever is saying what, but don't reach out to any and everybody. But you know who your family is, your close family is, who is in your circle, who is your resource, who can guide you. You know who you should reach out to. So reach out to those people. And if not, maybe reach out to a mentor or somebody if you have a church or whatever your faith, reach out to someone in your circle of faith, whatever your faith is. They will
Hmm.
guide you. There is help everywhere. There are some government agencies that provide free guidance, so there is
Hmm.
guidance out there. You just have to find a resource and reach out to someone who can direct you. But just don't stay by yourself trying to deal with it, and day after day you having the same results. Don't do that to yourself. you know Even if I didn't reach out to family and friends, after I had some time to reflect and I said,
Hmm.
and I started working things out, then I reached out and told my family and friends what was going on. And then, I felt a little bit of relief, you know, that it helps to talk about this with the people that you care about and who love you. Family and friends, they care about you and they love you and they want to
Hmm.
make sure that you're okay. It's not that they're going to talk about you or anything like that. They genuinely care about you and they want to see you do well. So don't stay where you are. Share with your family. That's your family. That's your tribe as well.
I
Try to
think you said something
hear.
important about the fact that by a certain point in life, we know which members of our family, their tongues are a little loose. We
Yes.
are treating them all weirdness like that because we know the whole family will know it, or they're just not that nice cousin,
Mhm.
that person that yeah they're not necessarily in your corner, but there are many people you can start sharing
Mhm.
and relieving yourself of some of the burden. You talked about utilizing people like your mentors,
Mhm.
from your church community that you've grown to trust,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully. If you don't have a community yet, to put yourself in the community, to
Right.
create new communities for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
new tribes, join meetup groups. That's
Mm-hmm.
something I did when I moved to Atlanta in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, because Atlanta was, there were not many Dominican people in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. Yeah,
Right.
and so I had to start reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have a thought here from Dr. Nick, which is about self compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And that is powerful. Okay. So I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Ooh.
Like, how did that help you through the process of recovering yourself first
Mm-hmm.
to be able to even have the strength to rebuild?
Right. You actually have to tell yourself it's okay. It happened. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up thinking about, yes, you're going to think about what did I do wrong? What did things go? You think
Mhm.
that you did everything wrong. Then you didn't. It's okay. Don't focus on that part of it. Focus on the part that you need to take with you from that situation to move forward. But it's okay to let go of the thought of what you did wrong. Give yourself some slack. You went through it. That self love, you have to really start pouring back into yourself and being alive again and doing the things that you love. Just telling yourself that it's okay. I went through this. So what?
Mhm.
Don't
I'm
be
not
hard
the
on yourself.
first. I won't be the last.
It won't be the last. Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Just slowly let it go.
And that's challenging for many of us, especially if we grow up with very critical families who the first thing they did when we did something wrong was to say, look, see, I told you so.
Hmm.
Look, you're never
Right.
going to amount to anything. So that voice, sometimes you need, very often, you need outside support. Like you need a coach, you need a therapist.
Hmm.
You identify that because very often the voice you're hearing criticizing you, that's not your voice, that's somebody else's voice. Yeah.
Hmm.
And you have to practice, you have to learn tools like
Hmm.
pouring into yourself, that self-care,
That's self care.
catching your thoughts, catching your thoughts and offering yourself the kind of compassion you might offer to somebody else or to a
Hmm.
baby, a
Hmm.
child. Turn it around towards yourself.
Hmm. Yeah. You have to learn how to reframe your mind, like set reading books. There are self help books out there. you know Change your thinking, read books to really immerse yourself in whatever it is that you need in that moment. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to pour back into yourself. You need to learn how to motivate yourself, how to take away that self-doubt. Maybe you need to learn how to maybe practice a different skill, or there are so many things that you can do to pour back into yourself. And don't just stay where you are. Just read a if nothing else, just find a self-help book and just read that book. Or if
And
you don't like.
the gift, we have a big gift these days.
Mhm.
Almost every self-help book, I mean, some of the classics, y'all, that you used to have to spend money for, somebody's probably recorded that book on YouTube.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
just put your
I love
headphones in,
audiobooks. Mhm.
you just put your headphones in your ears and re-educate yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pour into yourself, recover yourself, grow. Dr. Nick is talking about it helps with the growth mindset. You use
Mhm.
you gotta get in there. I know a lot of the stuff that happened to you, to me, it was ugly, but
Mhm.
we are human beings. So this is what
We
we're
are.
doing. That's what we're doing here.
Mhm.
So what are we gonna do? We gotta do like what you did.
Mhm. Yeah, you
Hmm.
have to change your thinking, change your mindset. You need that growth mindset, because if you have that fixed mindset, you will just stay stuck where you are.
Can
But
you
like.
describe that? Can you explain to people what's a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset and why they need to create and cultivate a growth mindset?
Yeah, so a fixed mindset is someone who is just stagnant, they're stuck in their ways, they have a tunnel vision, they don't see anything else. They don't try, they fall and they stay where they are. They don't try to get out of that situation. They just feel stuck and stagnant. Not feel, but they just stay stuck and stagnant because of that mindset of lack, the lack mentality. They don't know,
Mhm.
you know what, I can be better. I can do something else. Okay, this failed. It's okay that this failed, but fixed mindset, people who have fixed mindset, they just dwell on the negative and they don't try to do anything else to improve. They accept defeat. Now with the
Mhm.
growth mindset, you know that there is more. If you fail, you're going to try it again and again. Maybe you try it a different way, but you find a way to grow and build. That's why it's a growth mindset, because you're going to do little things to get to where you need to go. So you always want to have a growth mindset, because you want to identify what you need to do to take the steps to get to where you want to go. So with a growth mindset, is like a ladder. You do little things, and you change different strategies. You find a way to move forward. And fixed mindset, if something doesn't go the way that's planned, they stay where they are. They
They
don't
just
try anything else. They just let it go. So you want to really have a growth mindset so that you can really move forward.
And that moving forward is about not necessarily being strong. This idea of I have to be strong. Oh, be strong. No, I prefer the word Dr. Nick is using here, which is about resilience, where you
Yes.
bend instead of breaking. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Where you're honest with what you're experiencing. You feel the feels. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you make choices in your highest good, in your best interest anyway. Yeah. You're taking the next right step, the next right action. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of going to drink a bottle of wine, instead you go work out,
Mm-hmm. Right.
take a swim class, you go dancing,
Mhm.
call your friends, read a book, listen to something on audio, right? So
But get
Dr.
out there.
Nick is saying,
Mm-hmm.
yes, get out there. That according to Greg, is a very important component of acquiring that kind of resilience, the ability to bend and not break, to stretch. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
is social connection. Yes, it
Yes.
is. Social connection
Mm-hmm.
and social engagement. Yeah. That's where that tribe that you reference comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you need that, because if you things keep happening and you don't really bounce back from it, you don't improve, and you don't find a way forward, you won't develop that resilience that he's talking about. Because to be strong is one thing. You can be strong and not go anywhere. It just means that you can deal with situations, and you just stay where you are. But you want to be resilient. You want to go through some things, learn from it, take the good parts, and then go forward. And as you moving forward, you become resilient, meaning that you can recover faster. So something happened, you pick yourself up and you're gone. You're resilient. So you want to be resilient. I consider myself a resilient coach, because I've been through some things and I've learned from those mistakes. I took the good parts. And so anytime something happens along my journey in life that we call life, I can pick up and keep moving. So that resiliency, and you want that resiliency, because that's going to make you more confident. It's going to make you just pick right back up and keep living, because what are we all here to do? We want to live, and we want to enjoy our life, and we just we just want to live. We live in a healthy and happier way.
We want to survive and we want to
Survive.
thrive.
Hmm.
We want to
But that
survive,
resilience is,
thrive.
yeah,
Yes.
you want to
And
be
the
resilient.
blessing is that we don't have to do it alone. You don't have to figure out
Exactly.
everything alone. There's support. You start with what you have where you are. So what
Hmm.
you who you have maybe initially might be, your family. Outside
Hmm.
of that, you have your friend circle. You have maybe
Hmm.
people at work where you might have connections, people you can talk to and ask for help, your church, the community, whatever. But you have to keep going outside until you get to the right help. And your right help might be Coach Evancia, might be Dr. Triphi, might be a therapist who that is their job.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Oh, well, what a lovely evening. See, like I
It has
said,
been.
that's my girl. I am very proud of you. It's been a pleasure listening to you and feeling like you were pouring into me. I really appreciate that feeling. I really appreciate that feeling. And I have a sense that that's what the people you support will also feel, because that energy is crackling, man. All right. It's like, yes, yes, yes. So thank you for sharing with the group, with the people who listen. Again, y'all, I want to invite you to share the live and maybe tag at least one person that you think Coach Evancia can support. And on my page, you see her masterclass information. On the same page, you'll see where you can just click the link and get into the masterclass. Okay. Shonika, follow my page so you can see what I'm talking about. She's right there. Follow Coach Evancia. Right, y'all? Abundance, in my view, is a divine right. It came for all of us. It's available to all of us. It's accessible to all of us. But life has formulas and things you've got to do. And if you're not doing it, you're not going to get the results you think you want or that you see in your mind. So there are people who can help you do that. And Coach Evancia is one. All right. So final
Thank you.
thoughts. Final
Thank
thoughts.
you for having me. I'm honored to be on your podcast. So I really appreciate this. Coming from my favorite teacher, being here on your podcast, just being an amazing feeling for me. So I really, really appreciate this, you inviting me onto your podcast. And for anyone out there who's listening or who's watching, just find whatever it is that you need to do. Identify what you what in life, and reach out to somebody who can help, whether it's your tribe, a mentor, a coach, a therapist, wherever you are in your journey. Find someone to help you with where you are so you can move forward. No one wants to be stuck where they are. Setbacks are going to happen. That's guaranteed in life. I look at setbacks as, roadblocks. I look at them as speed bumps. They're just temporary, but don't stay where you are. Go through those setbacks, take what you can from them, and just move forward. There's so much more waiting for you on the other side. So I'm speaking for myself. I've been there. I know what it's like, to be stuck and feel stagnant and have setbacks, but don't stay where you are. Take the good and just move forward. Just do a sprint. Just move forward with it.
And on that note,
Thank you.
I'll see you all next Thursday on Transforming Trauma Podcast. And I have a feeling you all might see me, in the road on Facebook before then. Thank you all so, so, so much. Until next time. Donc, parlez en l'autre fois. Peace.